You know you the coldest, you know you the coldest, you know you the coldest, man, you know you the coldest, you know you the coldest.
Hey y'all, welcome back. If you're new, I'm Nick, and I just wanted to do a little video really quick and just talk about the 9 to 5 is literally just the beginning. The 9 to 5 is literally the cups, and I'm sorry if y'all hear the noise, but I wanted to come outside and actually get some quietness, and then all of a sudden they over here cutting grass. Like, just why I was like, let me go get a little bit of fresh air. And I'm in a car, but I'm in a car because it's hot, so I might step out the car, but I just was like, let me just step out and do a video out and about. Anyways, the 9 to 5 is just the beginning of the cups. Don't let and do not forget your dreams. I'm gonna just say that. So we gonna restart. The 9 to 5 is just the beginning. The 9 to 5 is not the end all be all. And I always felt like this, like, which is why I push for doing multiple things, trying out what you like, what you don't like, multiple streams of income, and just not being stuck to one thing, because I always knew that I did not want to be stuck in a 9 to 5 forever. I don't mind doing a 9 to 5. Of course, we have to eat, we have to make ends meet, we have to feed ourselves, we have to feed our children. And it is okay to, like, you know, have the whole 401k thing, but let's not let that be the end all be all, because as you can see, a lot of times, especially now when people are like tired and you know, they don't want to do certain stuff no more, and they didn't do anything on the side, and they just spent 20 years at a job, that it does not really work out in your favor. As much as they preach and push, it doesn't work in our favor. So start with your 9 to 5. Use it for what you need to. Use it to start your business. Use it to start a side hustle. Use it to invest with everything that you have. Like, just use it to your advantage, okay? And don't look at it as negative in a way, because I think for a lot of times that we do look at it as negative, but you have to look at it at the same time, like, you know what, I'm using this to push myself, I'm using this to get myself further. I'm not going to be here for 30 years, 40 years, because baby, if the 9 to 5 ain't teach me nothing, working at certain jobs taught me that I can't do this forever. And even if I do this for a certain amount of time, because, you know, we do have to take into consideration, if you have children and etc., that we have to provide for them. But in the same way, a sense of building something outside of your 9 to 5, building something for yourself, building something that you can give your kids one day, building something that it is that you actually love, that comes from your heart, that doesn't come from just the paycheck. Like, if it gives a whole different feeling and a whole different vibe versus just, you know, working a certain job, especially if you're not passionate about a job, a certain kind of job, you know, passionate about the thing that you are doing, you know what I mean, like, in a way. So I just wanted to just do a quick talk and just say the 9 to 5 is literally the beginning of us, but it is not the end of us. And don't forget about your dreams. Don't forget about the things that you wanted. Don't forget about the things that you were working for, that you're pushing for. Don't forget them, because easily it can be forgotten. Because I know a lot of times we get caught up in everyday life. We get caught up in everything that we're doing. We get caught up so fast in the things that we have to do, and we're literally making somebody else rich and not making ourselves rich. So we really have to focus on making ourselves rich. I mean, if that's what you want, I'm gonna just say comfortable or rich. We have to really work on making ourselves comfortable or rich, where, you know what, if I feel like I don't want to go to my 9 to 5 today, I have something else going on where I don't have to. You know, let's get into that space and that mindset and that, you know, era of making our lives better and making it easier, especially with the way that 2026 is right now. It's like you really have to fight or flight. And it's so many people that I see that are giving up on their dreams and are just like, you know, forget it because it's so difficult, or everything's so expensive, or it's so like, how am I gonna do this? And it's like, we really have to make time for the things that we want. even if it's like an hour a day. And I have that in my school community, like where I'm a mom, single mom at that. My kids' dad keep going back and forth to jail. And before that happened, I just always had the mindset and always had in my head that like certain things that I wanted for, I just had my daughter at the time. I want my daughter to have a different life than I had. I want me to eventually be able to leave the 9 to 5 fully. And you know, a lot of different type of mindset, that the way I was thinking, a lot of people wasn't, you know, look at me kind of weird or look at me side-eye, but they are literally seeing exactly what I was talking about and exactly what I meant when I said, and I was thinking like this, you know, years ago. Like, we have to really push ourselves and put in the work, like creating digital products, creating ebooks, creating t-shirts, creating like jackets, creating clothing. Like, my mindset was like that as I'm still young, but when I was younger. So like, just imagine I was just evolving and like, you know, growing. So use the 9 to 5, and then I'm really kind of pushing myself, getting myself back in that mindset, because I'm not even gonna lie, like just going through day-to-day life and just doing everything that you have to do, you somewhat forget because you're doing so much. You know, you're doing so much at the time, and you're really not thinking about, you know, what you really should be thinking about, what you should be, you know, focusing on, which is building yourself up, building your future. And I seen a video when it was like, basically, oh, you know, what's the point, because everything's so expensive. So what am I about to be like, what am I doing all of this for? It's not like it's gonna eventually, like later on, I'm not gonna see it, it's not gonna be worth it. It will be worth it. Like, we can't be in that mindset of thinking like that, because all we are doing is giving them exactly what they want, which is for us to give up and for us not to fight for the things that we've always wanted. We always wanted to be attainable. Like, house, if you wanted a house, you know, if you wanted to open up a certain type of business, a laundromat, a nail salon, you know, we can really do those things if we want to. We don't got to be stuck at these 9 to 5s forever. And I know the agenda that they're pushing is like, we got to be stuck at, no, I know I'm not. I don't care what it is that I have to do or create, or, you know, how much hours I have to put in to better myself and better my life. But I'm not giving up, and I don't think we don't need to give up. We don't need to give up. And it's so hard to say that, because I understand, and I'm definitely in the shoes of like living in reality. I'm definitely one of those people that don't live in fairy tale. I don't live in a fairy tale. I live in reality. I'm one of those people that's a realist. I pay attention to what's going on. I execute, but I also study. I also take my time. I also learn. So the best thing that we can do to get out of this 9 to 5, or, you know, don't forget your dreams. Do not forget your dreams. Yes, use your 9 to 5 as you need to be, but don't let it get to you, and don't forget about what you're working towards. Because as long as you go in there with the mindset, you know, you're going to work like, you know what, I'm putting in my 8 hours, that's all they're going to get from me, and I'm going to my 5 to 9, we're using that, we're taking full advantage of that 5 to 9. That 5 to 9, we're either going to school, we're working on our side hustle, we're working on our business, we're working on creating multiple streams of income. Like, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So I'm glad y'all sat here with me for my little talk, and I will see y'all in the next one. But don't forget, use that 9 to 5 as you need to. Don't forget your dreams. And if you need to take a woosah, take that woosah for that day or two, or, you know, for that 2 hours, and get back to it. We're getting back to it. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me how y'all feel about this.